Hi guys. I wanted to make a snapshot of the transits right now, astrologically and in the gene keys, and tie that into the field of attraction and manifestation. So we have been in gene keys 50 and 32. There were a lot about seeing the corrupted data and the patterns that we are running, whether it's in ourselves, in our relationships, or in our environment. And in 32, we could kind of feel the underlying, panic or fear of failure, and not really knowing what to focus on, and learning to see what is it we want to nurture, and what's the weed that has to be pulled out of our garden. And then we were in gene key 28 up until a couple of days ago. There's much kind of a deeper Scorpio energy where we go into the deep waters, and either, we could say that we're like killing off what doesn't serve us, we are shedding, we are dying to either, our essence, what serves us, or we could say, we're dying to the void as well, because we don't really know when we're in the shamanic process. We don't really know what's going to come out to the others on the other side. So that Scorpio energy in the 28 is a lot about courage. It's a lot about letting the process, has its way, and trusting it, even if it feels like everything around us is falling apart. Even if the waters get really dark, it's just that. It's just being in it as long as it continues. And now we are into the 44th gene key that is also connected to that 50, that corruption, but it's like with the 44 that is about soul fractals and coming together, and the synergy, like everybody being in the right place. That together with a 50 that is about the corruption, but also about how we create equality, how we create harmony in the world. When those two come together, we call that codon ring of those two gene keys the codon ring of the Illuminati, because they are together. When you have both sides, there's actually nothing outside of you that is a conspiracy. There is nothing really that can fool you, because you have in yourself the discernment of what isn't corrupted, and also what is interfering with truth. Interference and corruption are the shadow frequencies, and that's when you can start true teamwork and true synergy and truly coming to something that is more balanced. And what I can feel right now is that 28 is kind of still lingering, which is we are still in the Scorpio energy. So something we can focus on this week is our relationships. And if we have been weeding out the patterns that didn't work, and if we have been transcending parts of the failures, the fear of the failures, and understanding what they are leading us to, and what's trying to not be part of our lives anymore. This week is a lot about relationships. And there's something about these transits where I feel like they are only kind of difficult and messy if we are stubborn enough to not listen. And if we are keeping things in our lives that are not aligned with our soul matrix and our life purpose. So what is happening right now is all about alignment. And I've felt it, I've said it before, it's about the energy now that comes for 2020. It's all about alignment. So we have a certain time to kind of to upgrade and to become more aligned, which has, of course, all the planes within us: physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, but it's also in alignment in our relationships and in our environment. So if we continue to feed things, whether it's our own behaviors or in our relationship that we know are not aligned, can be so many things, out of laziness, out of codependency, out of love even, because there could be something. And I found this quote like last week, I think, and I posted it, and it was saying, did you ever break your heart that you had to do something you knew was right, even if that would make you feel like your heart was in 1,000 pieces? And that's somehow the Scorpio energy doesn't care. It cares about what is happening right now. It cares about what's aligned. And even if it's in the moment, it feels on an emotional level difficult, it doesn't really care about that. So I feel it's a lot about courage right now. It's a lot about discernment, and that discernment has to it has to lead to discrimination, where we actually take the action and cut out what doesn't serve. I feel in my own experience that I've been a lot in discernment. I see a lot of things. I'm aware of a lot of things, and from that awareness to go to the action of actually discriminating and say this serves, this doesn't serve, and the action of cutting it out has been a much bigger challenge for me. But I can feel the energy that is coming in, and says, when, the longer you let these things linger in your life, the more interference you're going to get. And that's the shadow frequency of the 44. That happens to me in my culture, so I'm kind of saying it from a place where I can see it in my hologenic profile. Is the lens that I'm looking at the collective, that I'm looking at how I interact with people. And there is an interesting dynamism in how this works. So look this week at the interference in your relationships. Feel into the energy. Where does the teamwork feel compromised? Those are the places where you can gain so much wisdom this week, and so much discernment that can then lead to the decision making, the discrimination that you need to have in order to live in a way that is more aligned. So that is my invitation for this coming transit. Thank you.